Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This is Tifosi Culture TV and I'm your host Hotshot, and welcome to a tactical analysis video of Chelsea versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. The game was of great significance because it saw the beginning of a new era as Thomas Tuchel took charge of his first game, and it was only fitting that he faced a team that saw the start of his predecessor Frank Lampard's downward spiral in terms of form. The XG indicated that it was a deserved result for both teams, while the XG time map showed that but for a brief 10 minutes in the second half, Chelsea created slightly better quality chances throughout the game. And it showed in the stats as well, with Chelsea dominating possession and had more shots and shots on target, while Wolves failed to produce a single shot on target throughout the game. So let's go to the formations fielded by both teams. Starting with the home team, Thomas Tuchel fielded a 3-4-2-1 formation, with Rudiger, Silva and Azpilicueta being the three centre-backs. Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi were the two wing-backs. Kovacic and Jorginho were the two narrow double pivots, Kai Havertz and Ziyech were the two false eights, and Olivier Giroud led the line as the target man. Now let's look at Wolves' lineup. Nuno Espirito Santos fielded his 3-5-2 formation with Max Gilman, Connor Cody and Willy Boly the three centre-backs. Aït-Nouri and Nelson Semedo were the wing-backs, Ruben Neves and Dendoncker were the two CMs, and the front three consisted of the fluid Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence and Adama Traore. So what tactics did Thomas Tuchel use on his first game in charge of Chelsea? Let's find out. Before we get started, if you like this video, please do consider smashing that like button. It helps this video reach a bigger and wider audience. And if you're new here, do consider subscribing, where we do match reviews, previews, tactical analysis, team analysis and all that good stuff. And we also have a podcast called the Tifosi Culture Podcast. I'll leave a link to it in the description, where we cover a wide range of football topics. And if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, I appreciate you and thank you so much for coming back for more. So let's get started. So let's look at what the home team did while in possession. Chelsea's formation was only a 4-2-3-1 on paper, as in possession and during the build-up, they shifted to form a 3-4-2-1, with Azpilicueta tucking in to form the third centre-back, while Hudson-Odoi and Ben Chilwell pushed up high and wide to provide width as the wing-backs. Mateo Kovacic and Jorginho were the two narrow double pivots, while Hakim Ziyech and Kai Havertz tended to behave like free-floating number 8s in a Manchester City setup. They tended to occupy the half space between the Wolves' outside centre-backs and wing-backs. So basically the team was split into 5 attacking players and 5 defending players, resembling Pep Guardiola's Man City. Chelsea, when in possession of the ball and during build-up, tended to build short, with Monty passing the ball to the centre-backs, and they would look to circulate the ball amongst themselves and the two DMs to try and work the ball to the wing-backs. Wolves rarely looked to engage Chelsea during their build-up, as seen in their PPDA, and they set up in a mid-block of 5-2-3 or 5-2-1 depending on their position on the pitch. Pedro Neto and Adama Traore and Daniel Podence tended to rotate amongst themselves, and they rarely looked to engage the centre-backs. But once they did, they tended to press in a systematic manner. Once the ball is played out wide, depending on which side, Adama Traore or Pedro Neto would look to step and press the wide centre-back, with the cover shadow blocking the pass to the pivot, while Daniel Podence stays on the pivot on the other side, while the other wide man will stay on the nearest centre-back. Higher up the pitch, they defended in a compact and narrow mid-block, as mentioned earlier. They tried to force Chelsea to pass the ball between the centre-backs and the two DMs. Chelsea tried to work the ball out wide to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Once Callum Hudson-Odoi received the ball, he would look to take on Aït-Nouri and try to whip in across for Giroud and Kai Havertz, or Ben Chilwell making a run to attack the far post. They typically look to build up from their right-hand side, as seen below. They often tended to create overloads on the right-hand side, and then Thiago Silva or Azpilicueta will look to switch the ball out to the left-hand side, with Ben Chilwell being the most likely target. Thiago Silva attempted the second most long balls among the Chelsea team. Once Ben Chilwell received the ball, he would look to draw in Nelson Semedo, and once that happens, Kai Havertz would look to exploit the space vacated by Nelson Semedo and the wide centre-back. Once Kai Havertz received the ball, he would look to whip in across for Olivier Giroud. Either Kai Havertz or Hakim Ziyech would drop deep into the midfield to try and create a numerical superiority in the centre of the pitch. If the wide centre-back did not follow them into the midfield, they would look to receive the ball and try to drive at the defence or slip in a through ball to the wing-backs, making a run behind the defensive line to try and whip in a cross. Additionally, Hakim Ziyech or Kai Havertz would drift out wide, creating space for Hudson-Odoi or Chilwell to make inward runs into the defensive line. When playing through the middle, the staggered position of the double pivots would look to progress the ball forwards, and Giroud would often look to drop in deep, thereby either drawing Boli or Cody or both. This is done to try and create space for the free eights so that they can make runs in behind the defense via that space. But this method was ineffective for the most part. In the second half, Nuno brought on Ki-Jana Hoever, switching Semedo to the left-hand side. This was done to offer more defensive stability against Hudson-Odoi. Tuchel countered this by pushing Azpilicueta higher up the pitch in the wide space to easily progress the ball by creating overloads. Azpilicueta could also act as an auxiliary fullback, putting in crosses for Giroud to get on the end of. Now let's look at what Wolves tried to do in possession. Wolves had very little possession, and they also tended to primarily play on the counter. So figuring out what they tried to do during the build-up was very hard. Chelsea's attacking formation also meant that they could counter-press very efficiently, matching up man v man against Wolves players. Giroud will stay on the centre back while the two floating eights will press the wide centre backs with their cover shadow blocking the passing lane to the pivots. The wing backs will press their counterparts, and one of Chelsea's pivots, whichever one is not ball side, will look to block any passing lane to the centre forward, while the wide centre backs will step into the path of the wide forwards, while the centre back, Thiago Silva, will cover as a sweeper. They counter-pressed in a man-oriented scheme, and based on their PPDA, they pressed with a lot of intensity. During Wolves' build-up play, they typically try to play long balls to the wingers. Boli and Patricio look to put in long balls into the channels. The wide forwards will try to drop deep and drag the wide centre-backs along with them. They'll attempt to play the ball to Podence, who will run into the space vacated by the centre-backs, or they will look to play quick 1-2s with Podence, releasing the wide forwards. Podence, Pedro Neto, and Adama Traore were very fluid and they tended to swap positions repeatedly. While on the counter, Pedro Neto will occupy the space vacated by the fullbacks. Ruben Neves or Daniel Podence will look to find him, and he will look to beat the outside centre backs, and he will look to whip in across to the front post. While it may only be a temporary lineup, the role given by Tuchel to Callum Hudson-Odoi was a spark that could turn their season around. Providing an outlet for his teammates, he relished the role of a false wingback, putting in 11 crosses, which was the highest in the Chelsea team. The man of the match goes to Callum Hudson-Odoi. A special shout out has to go to Hakim Ziyech though, who was everywhere and almost every build-up play went through him, and it showed, with him putting in 4 key passes, 10 crosses and 7 long balls. In the end, Wolves' resilience and defensive approach meant that Chelsea were unable to get a goal, and Tuchel, having only joined the day before the match, meant that the players did not have time to get used to the system. He also said that he chose an unfair lineup, saying, and I quote, "Today I cannot choose a team after one day in training. It's not fair, so this may be the most unfair lineup we ever do. We chose a bit more experience today because we step in the middle of the season. It is not easy. So time will tell just how Tuchel would really like to set up his Chelsea team." So what did you guys think of this game? Drop a comment down below and let's hear your thoughts. And also let me know if I missed any other tactics used. Thanks again for watching and do subscribe, and I'll see you guys till the next video. Peace.